Hi, I'm Sherri Kreps, your spiritual fitness coach, and we're going to God's Word to find out how to win today with joy. This is especially important because the world we live in is filled with sadness, hurt, pain, suffering, and discouragement. This has led so many of us to seeking happiness. We've heard many people say, and maybe even said ourselves, "I just want to be happy." In fact, one of the most familiar lines of the Declaration of Independence states, "We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." The idea of pursuit of happiness lends itself to believing that happiness should be chased after. Many people look for happiness and fulfillment in people, work, family, status, successes, you name it, only to find that their happiness is temporary and something more needs to be chased after. I call this the "I'll be happy when" syndrome. I've lived it, and maybe you have too. It goes something like this. I'll be happy when I get out of high school. I'll be happy when I graduate from college, when I get the job I want, when I find my spouse, when I buy a house, have kids, get a dog, when I get that raise, when my kids are grown, when I have more time, when I can retire. This cycle goes on and on. It looks differently for everyone, but I'm sure you can customize it to your specific list. What if I told you that happiness isn't something to seek after? That Jesus provides something better, something that is lasting? Would you want that? Happiness is dependent on our circumstances, but Jesus offers us His joy. In John 15, Jesus calls Himself the vine and describes us as the branches. He encourages us to abide in Him and allow Him to abide in us. Then He says, "If you abide in me and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish and it will be done for you. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit and so prove to be my disciples. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you will abide in my love, just as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in His love." He finishes by saying, "These things I have spoken to you, that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be full." Or some translations say, "that your joy may be complete." Jesus never calls us to pursue happiness, but He does share the formula for carrying His joy with us. So, abide in Him. In other words, stay connected to the vine. Then, let His words abide in you. Abide in His love. And finally, keep His commandments. His words, His love, His commandments, and yes, Jesus Himself gives us hope in every situation. That is true joy. So, can I have joy even when I'm sad? Yes. Can I have complete joy when I'm going through hard times? Yes. When I'm grieving? Yes. When I'm suffering and discouraged? Yes. But here's one more important consideration. How can Jesus give us His complete joy? Hebrews 4:15 tells us, "For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who in every respect has been tempted, just as we are, yet without sin." Everything that we've experienced on earth, Jesus has experienced. He knows pain, loss, rejection, betrayal, humiliation, exhaustion, and death, and yet lives not only with joy, but He is our joy. So here's your challenge to help you win today with joy. First, get completely honest about an area of your life where you're feeling lack of contentment. Is your energy being put into trying to find happiness in that area? Ask yourself if you are too busy pursuing happiness instead of longing for the complete joy that Jesus offers. Secondly, spend time in prayer with God, asking Him to help you abide in Him and His love, and let His words abide in you and help you keep His commandments. If you've been encouraged by these words and you find that you've been pursuing happiness instead of following Jesus' formula for complete joy, We want to hear from you. I invite you to drop your comments below. Now, go win today.